What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today is Wednesday. Actually, it's my Friday, but anyway, I'm on my way to work, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's been watching the videos and commenting. It's definitely been a lot of fun to get feedback from you guys. In fact, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this vlog today. A couple people mentioned, one person mentioned something about what radar detector I use. Another person said, gosh, you know, I live in, I believe it was Australia, and radar detectors are illegal there. So anyway, so today's topic is going to be spirited driving. We're going to call it spirited driving because, as we all know, speeding is illegal, and I definitely am not an advocate of driving like a maniac or, you know, putting other people at risk or even yourself at risk just to have a little bit of fun. So just for legal reasons, let's just call it spirited driving. So anyway, there used to be two things that I used to do in conjunction, you know, combined, to enable me to enjoy my spirited driving and also give me some confidence to do so without possibly getting in too much trouble. So the first thing is radar detectors. Well, I don't know if you have a radar detector. I've used one over the last probably 7 years. I've had a couple different ones. I used to use the Solo S2. Now I use the Solo S3 by Escort, and it's very effective at picking up X, K, KA, and I believe even laser as well. However, radar detectors just don't seem to be nearly as effective as they used to be. When I say not as effective, they're still just as effective at picking up all these different alerts. However, there are a lot of false alarms, or at least there have been for me. So there are a number of things that have been setting off my radar detector with false alerts. And a lot of these cars nowadays have radar cruise control, collision avoidance, blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, what have you. And a lot of these car manufacturers actually use radar in order for these systems to work. And although they're great features to have in your car, it's a perfect example of how some of the new technology actually hinders the performance of previous technology. So that's been kind of an annoyance for me lately. I've been on quite a few car runs, driven to California and stuff, and to be honest with you, it used to be that if a K or KA band went off, you knew it was pretty much a cop somewhere at a speed trap, and you would slow down, you'd see the cop, and you'd say, okay, great, my radar detector paid for itself once again. But lately, my radar detector's been going off all the time, and to be honest with you, it just, a lot of times it ruins my experience for spirited driving anyway. So that being said, I did watch a video which was pretty interesting. I'll put a link in the description below, but the gentleman goes on for no less than 20 minutes on how you could possibly tweak your radar detector, or how you can buy the proper radar detector to help avoid some of these false alerts. However, he goes on to say, by doing so, you also increase the risk of reducing the alerts that are important to you. So, therefore, it could be somewhat counterproductive. Okay, so, that being said, radar detectors definitely don't work out for me nearly as much as I used to. The other thing I used to do all the time is situational awareness. What I mean by that is constantly being aware of cars all around you. That could be the car in front of you, the car behind you, the car beside you, you know, cars getting on the freeway, on on-ramps. You have to always be aware of cars around you. And it used to be, you know, especially in Las Vegas, cop cars were always pretty much the same models, you know, Crown Victoria or a certain type of SUV. They're always white and black, always had the lights on top, very easy to spot. Even the unmarked vehicles were kind of pretty much a joke because they were the same make and model. They were just all white and had a huge CB antenna on the back. Very easy to spot. Nowadays, that's not necessarily the case. There are completely unmarked vehicles, different makes and models, you know. Sometimes, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it could be a Chevy Cruze, it could be a Dodge Durango, you know, vehicles that you wouldn't normally associate with being a police officer or a patrol car are now actually patrol cars. So, like I said, now it's pretty much broken my confidence. Now, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy my spirited driving to a certain extent, but I'm pretty paranoid about it, and obviously that's probably first and foremost something that they want to achieve, and apparently it's working, at least for me. So how do I feel about radar detectors, and will I continue to use mine? The answer to that question is yes and no. Yes, I do use it occasionally, as you saw in my other video when I took my Corvette up to the mountains. If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're going to be horsing around a little bit, you know, spirited driving, as we're going to continue to call this, yes, it's a good idea to have that on. I mean, it definitely saved me the other day. However, if I'm driving around town, just going back and forth to work, more than likely I'm not going to be using it, just because it becomes so annoying when the alerts keep going on time after time again. I just keep muting them, and gets to the point where, you know, it's like that cry wolf syndrome, where eventually at some point you're just not even going to believe it's a real threat even when it's going off, and I want to try to avoid that. So I'm only going to use it if I think I'm going to be driving a little bit more aggressively from time to time. Also, if I'm out with a group of people and we're out having a good time, you know, 10, 12 cars, what have you, you know, sure, I'll turn it on, but if I start to get a lot of false alerts, I'm just going to turn it off, because it just adds anxiety and ends up ruining my fun. So that being said, what I'd really like to hear is if other people like you are having this same issue. I would have to imagine, you know, you probably are. I'm sure there are some radar detectors that are a little bit better than others. Maybe mine just picks up a lot more false alerts. Not really sure. Also, I'm sure it probably has something to do with, you know, depending on where you live. Maybe where you live there's more false alerts than maybe where I live. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. Questions, comments, concerns are always appreciated. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Also, keep in mind to hit that notification bell to make sure that you're updated every time I put a video out. So with that being said, I hope you're having a good day, and I will catch you in the next video.
We make the streams louder.